Hello everyone. I hope you are doing good. I welcome you all to the episode 3 of in E-Chowpal. It is a concept by Innobles Private Limited. It is a way to connect and to discuss and to draw out solutions to our mind handling problems. I am Gautam and I'll be hosting today's live session. As you must be familiar by now, Innobles Private Limited is a mind handling solution company which is currently working with corporate training programs, facilitating their growth and general public. So a few days ago, we had a creative writing competition and we got really great response in that. We had almost around 500 plus entries from all over the country, including majorly from Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore and Chandigarh. So today we have the winners of our contest with us. The way they portray their stories and how they overcome their mental health was too great. So I request you all to just introduce yourself a bit, starting with you, sir.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Mehrzaad Mongrelia and I'm from Mumbai.
Yeah, Kimi, you can go on.
Hi, I'm Kimberly D'Souza. I'm from Mumbai.
Pranoti, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Dr. Pranoti and I am a dentist from Nagpur, Maharashtra.
Okay, that's great. So we'll start with you, sir. How was your experience like you wrote in the article? How was your experience like? Can you describe it a bit?
Okay, so starting off, so the last 1.5 years, the year and a half has been really tough on all of us. I mean, it's just not only me as a person or the panelists that are present here, but for the world as a whole, a lot of businesses have shut down. People have lost their jobs. People have lost their lives, their loved ones. So it's been a really tough experience for the entire world. But for me personally, I just came back from Sydney, and amid the pandemic struck, I just finished my studies and I came back from Sydney when the pandemic struck. And having been a traveler, someone who loves to go around places, exploring and always wanting for things, making things happen for myself, found myself in a very peculiar situation as it staying in the house for long periods of times, and we're not just talking about hours or days, we're talking about months here. So it's been really tough, and but as it is with all new things, it does take time for things to adjust, and finally there has to be a way. So I chopped out a plan on how I'm going to make it through this pandemic, whether rejigging my goals, rejigging my ambitions, my plans for the future. So, I mean, those are the few things that I followed and which really helped me sail through this pandemic, and so far I've made it successfully as well.
Right, that was great. So, sir, we are in that point of the time where there are lockdown and it's quite difficult to survive, and in a situation where you didn't have a permanent job and you were worried about your loans and everything financial situation. So what was your mindset which pushed you out of it and which helped you in coming out of that situation? So what was your motivation exactly?
Right. So I mean, everyone is looking for a job. Like I was midway into my career, so I'm a mid-career professional, expand and grow into the industry. And of course, I got placed at a very peculiar time. Like I got placed on my job on 16th March 2020, and immediately 14 days later or 9 to 10 days later, the lockdown was announced. So, I mean, I did complete my existing project that was there with the client that was there. We completed that project, and after that, I was temporarily laid off for a period of about 2 to 3 months. But of course, deep down, we know with the situation in hand, it was very uncertain that I might get to resume the job again. So, and with all the impeding student loans that I had taken for my further studies, for my master's course in Sydney, it was really difficult for me mentally to keep up with the thing because I've never been anyone who loves to sit idle for a long period of time. I mean, a day or two here and there is completely fine, but having the thought of having to sit that long without doing anything, without having a goal to move forward in life is really disheartening. So, I mean, This one day I thought that there is no point in sitting and just thinking about what's going to happen or whatever is there in the future for me. about time that I took things in my hand and made things happen. So I sat down with my diary like I always do for all my important things. I noted down my goals of what I need to do. So I took it step by step. I made a bi-monthly chart instead of planning for long term, like 2 years or 3 years, like I would normally do. So I took it I took it 2 months at a time. Like at the end of 2 months, the first 2 months were. So we started lockdown in March. Up until April, I was trying to figure out how things were going to go. So from April, I made a conscious decision to think and focus on what I need to do. So at the end of June, where I wanted to be, that was my focus. I always had a hobby of writing, which obviously got lost in the kind of workload and the work pressure we had in terms of studies or in terms of our job commitments. So I kind of rekindled that. I decided that it was always my dream to become an author. So I definitely decided, I put my head down and said that this is the time that I really need to focus now. So I penned down my book. It was an anthology of poems that were comprised of various phases, people and events that influence our life right from the time we enter this world to the time we depart. So I sat and compiled down. It took me about a month and a half to compile about 25 to 30 poems that were there, which is obviously a little more difficult considering that you need to have a certain kind of a flow to the poems. Otherwise, if you just put in random poems, it really doesn't make sense. So finally, in July, I completed my book. I got in touch with my publisher and we finally had a launch. Of course, an e-launch in July. So from that, and obviously at that point in time, I really did not think that I wanted to do this for awards or I wanted to do this for any kind of rewards, or I had a target in mind that I'm going to sell 1,000 copies, I'm going to sell 500 copies. I really wanted to amid all the negativity and all the things that were going on, I just wanted to give something for people to consider a different outlook towards life. So that was my first aim. And of course, the book, comparatively and to my surprise, also did really well. So I was completely happy with that. Secondly, is also when I came back from Sydney, I was really overweight as far as my height is concerned. So I was really overweight and I had to make a conscious effort to lose weight as well. So I took up small exercises at home, like freehand exercises like push-ups, crunches, light exercises with the dumbbells, and also took up running as a hobby. So every day, luckily I'm blessed that I have a huge compound, like my colony has a huge compound where I can go for a run. So kept on running. Like I kept setting targets for myself. Like I had to lose this much of weight by a certain period of time. Like finally, after 5 to 6 months of hard work, I finally managed to reach my target of my targeted weight. So that was another achievement that I had. And as they say that you just need one good thing to go your way and to get the momentum back. So finally, in June, I also got my job. Luckily, I also got my job back and continued with me up until December the 31st when my contract got over. So that was all. And obviously, the key was not to sit idle. And also, I kept on learning about new things in life. I kept on doing research about my area of expertise. Kept on coming up with new techniques to solve problems in my area of expertise. So all that really helped, kept me occupied, kept me focused, and that's how I managed to sail through it. If you talk, as and when we talk about the mindset that is needed, I would just say that you need an adaptive and a resilient mind to get through such a situation, to get through such a tough situation that we've been in, and obviously it's not over yet. So having a resilient mind, keeping your focus, keeping your wits about yourself, keeping a cool head on your shoulders definitely helps, and that's what really helped me get through everything.
Rightly said, sir. As you said, pandemic was really difficult for people, but it helped us to concentrate on ourselves. And as you said, taking baby steps is much easier because it is not that difficult. So that's really great. Next thing I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about it now? Like when you look back at your experience, how do you feel about it right now?
So it was definitely an enriching experience for me. At the same time, it was a huge eye-opener. It probably reinforced the fact, the old adage that life indeed is very short. So really, we shouldn't be holding back in doing what we want. Just go for what we have in mind, what we have in our hearts. Just go express yourselves to your loved ones before it's too late and we have those kind of regrets that we shouldn't be having. That obviously happens after passing of an event or a loved one leaving us as well. So just like do not hold back, go for it. I mean, have a adaptive mindset, adapt to different situations. Do not be rigid in your thought process. Though having situational awareness really helps. So I mean, it was an enriching experience, and I hope that this experience will definitely help me progress in life even more and make it as a base or a learning experience that next time if God forbid we do not face the situation, but if we do face it, we are prepared for it mentally and physically, and to face it and to overcome it as well. Lastly, just to end my point, I mean, to all those who fought a battle out there mentally, physically, have lost invaluable people or parts of their lives. I mean, I salute you all for the way you all have fought, for the way the nation has come together in difficult times. I mean, a lot of times a lot of negativity is portrayed, but more than that, a lot of positivity in terms of people coming together, people helping each other, listening to problems of others, helping them out has really helped us sail through this. And hopefully we continue to do the same thing as a nation, and we're all in it together as well.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. It was a really nice time talking to you. So coming to our next winner, Kimmy, how do you feel about your experience? Like, can you tell us a bit about your experience in COVID?
Well, when the pandemic hit, I wasn't really as scared as I would be if I knew how long the lockdown would last, because everyone was saying it'll just blow off by May, and the first patient is in isolation, so it won't spread. And it just went on, and I had a hard time in school and at home because I couldn't pay attention very easily because there were a lot of distractions, and my grades started dropping, and then I had a hard time studying, and I couldn't get sleep either. So it was really hard for me, and my parents were just working 24/7, and so they couldn't really help in any way. And my sister was just 6, so she also couldn't understand what I was going through, and all my friends were just they were also there supporting me, and I was going through a lot of depression because I had nothing to do all day, and there was nothing that could help me in my situation. So, and I was doing all the work since there was no one else in the house, so I was just cooking and shopping and everything. It was really stressful and tiring, and my parents my parents had a really hard time too because they were working, and my mother works for a bank. So since the lockdown, they've had a really stressful time, and a lot of people have been quitting just one by one. So it added up to her work. So she used to stay up till 3 a.m. and then she was having a hard time sleeping and all that. And it really confused my sister because she didn't know what was going on and everything. So she just added to the trouble. So, and then my father got COVID. Luckily, it wasn't severe. So, but we were stuck in the house for 2 weeks because of the quarantine. So we were rationing everything we had, and it was really driving everyone crazy. So, and then then my grades really went down, and I had to step up and all. And I realized that I can't just wait for someone to come in and just magically turn my life into a positive thing. So I realized I had to step up and fix my problems myself instead of waiting for something that will never happen. So I began making rules around the house, like this is my study time, and I'm gonna exercise for this time, and I set some restrictions in the house and all because there was a lot of confusion in my family and disorganization since the lockdown. since we're all crammed up together. And it really helps me a lot because I realized that I should, if I fix my problems, it reduces my workload. So it doesn't, because the longer I waited, the worse things got. I couldn't pay attention in class, and then I used to have trouble staring at the screen all the time, and I used to get in some trouble during the online classes, and I had a hard time putting up with homework and all, since most of it was online. So it was much easier once I began doing my own work and deciding to just boost my productivity and determination and motivation. So then my grades began increasing, and I got more time to spend with my friends and family since I began managing my time physically and mentally. Then it really I even saw it enhanced my health in a way, because I began eating the right foods and at the right time, and I began eating more healthy stuff and all. And ever since the exercise and all, I've been feeling really upbeat, and I've had a nice time going through my day and all. Unlike when the lockdown just started, when I had to wake up early and just start doing everything before someone else just comes and disturbs me. So it's the way I started. I realized that if everyone helps around, and if everyone motivates themselves rather than waiting for inspiration, they can solve their problems much faster. Otherwise, it could take days, weeks, even years, just to find the right time to chase your dreams and achieve what you want.
Right. So, as you said, we need to work together, as we are in this together and we'll get out of it together. So while I was going through your article, it was really inspiring. You are truly an inspiration, and more power to you. So I just one thing clicked in my mind, that as a kid, what made you so courageous to lead your thought process this way?
I think the reason I worked so hard to make our situation better was because I always dreamt of when I became an adult, or when I went to college, and when I moved out, and when I was completely mature and I was totally independent and all. And I realized that this was similar to a time like that, when I'd have to do all my own work, and I couldn't wait for someone to just come in and then just make everything happen for me. So, and I always had this odd habit since I was a kid, since my sister was born, because I stopped getting much attention and all that. So I realized that, so naturally, I just started doing all my own work, and without even asking for help, and taking my problems to someone else rather than my family or someone close to me. And I don't know how I've grown up with this habit, but it's really helped me during lockdown, because I stopped playing chicken and all, and waiting for someone else to just do simple chores for me, like clean my room or do the laundry or something like that. And I started I started taking control of everything, including a lot of my sister's stuff and all that, including her school and her life. So I started helping her a lot, and she also had she had a hard time in school, because online it was really hard for her to do it online, and she's just 6. So I helped her around, and I tried to balance my online classes and hers as well, since we shared a room and we used to do it together and everything. And I started taking control of a lot of other things, and I instead of asking someone to help and all, I used to just go figure it out myself, since everything was online, like either through the internet or through random books. And it really helped get through the lockdown, the point in time where I just thought everything was just falling apart and everything was a mess.
Right. So that's too good to hear. Like, at such a small age, you are so mature, and that's really good. So at the last, do you want to give any messages to our audience? Any tips?
Well, the only message that I could give anyone that would actually help is that maturity isn't always about being punctual or obedient or organized. It's not always about that. Those are important elements of maturity, but it's also about being responsible, and you should be ready and experienced enough to just take on any situation. You shouldn't have a hard time adapting to anything like the lockdown. Like suddenly everything just stopped and offices shut down and everything, and people were having such a hard time adapting to it because of the timings, the lifestyle, and everything online. And everyone was saying that nothing could happen since it wasn't physical, and people couldn't really live their life if it was on a screen. So adaptation and flexibility is really important. It's a really important part of maturity.
Right. I had a great time talking to you. So we'll go on to our next winner. Ma'am, now the stage is all yours. So can you please tell us about your journey like in this pandemic?
Yes. Actually, the journey for me was very challenging. I could say that I have a lot of things, striving into my mind, but was not able to, implement it in a right way. As I was, graduated as a dentist, so I had to look up to what goals I have to set as a dentist. But something was missing. Something I felt was not right, and I also was struggling through all my distress and all the mental issues, all sort of depression, where I was sitting idle. I had nothing to do, and I was not able to concentrate on the clinic as well. So then what I thought was I should put my feelings, my thoughts, my emotions into writing.
Right.
I don't know, it was a really big challenge for me, although, because I was writing it for the first time. I used to write it in school. After getting into BDS, I was not able to concentrate on writing. But the big challenge for me was, am I able to portray the feelings what I actually feel, and are people able to relate it what I'm writing? So that was a big challenge for me. During the pandemic, a lot of things happened, and I wanted a job. I wanted a life to settle. I wanted something. I wanted to be independent actually, but nothing was striving. Nothing was going right, and just 2 months back, and I was like, I got a chance to write in an anthology. I got the chance to started writing poetry. So when I started writing, the chance came again and again. I just blowed up all my emotions into poetry, and then I came to know that yes, I have that ability to write, to reach out to people, where people can relate it to my work, where people can actually relate what I am writing. So that was a good step for me. I always feel that a positive attitude always drive people to a positive direction, to a direction where
Right.
you can lead to something which you also can't imagine of. I would say that I am inspiration for myself as well, because I have a very positive attitude towards life. I don't give up on things which are not meant to be. I try, I just try for it. But if it is not working, I don't stick to things which hamper me in any way. So positive attitude always drive people in the correct direction, I would say. So instead of trying, instead of just sitting back and having fear of not doing things, it's better you try it. It's better you try it, so that you know where you stand.
Right. So as you said, you started writing your poetry is because you were fond of it. So in this challenging situation, we start overthinking, and that's bad. So how did you challenge your mind at that time?
I would say that when I write, I feel it for myself. I feel what I am going through. I imagine what the situation can be, the situation where people can be, where people gets motivated. I have a dream that I should be a motivational speaker. I don't know, but yes, I have a dream.
That's really great.
Whenever I write, I just feel that I should be motivating people somewhere I should be there. I always believe that no one is coming to get you inspired. No one is coming to tell you what is right and what is wrong. You should be able to calculate yourself that this thing is right for me and I am living up to what I expect from myself. So that is the thing what motivated me and what led to my passion, that is writing. I have multiple things in my head, and I am the compiler of 2 books. In last 2 months I have accomplished all these things. I am the co-author of 30 plus books, and I am the compiler of 2 books as well, and working on my solo book as well, where you will get to read my poetries in Hindi and English as well. So these are all the accomplishments, and also whatever the blog I have written in your organization, that was the first blog which I wrote about myself, that what would I do, what was I feeling the last 1 year of pandemic, where my all the self respect, the self courage was gone. So much of obstacles, so much of self-belief was not there. No one was inspiring me. No one either believed in me. Even I was doubting myself on what to do. But the correct direction always lead you to a correct way, and you should always count your failures as a positive approach. Mistakes as you should always take your mistakes as positive. I've always believed that mistakes are the things which will lead to something to learning. It's always help you in learning. And the most important thing is fear. The fear which holds us back of कि कैसा लगेगा, कैसा होगा, क्या होगा अगर मैंने बोल दिया तो. So these are the things जो हमेशा एक इंसान को पीछे रखता है. So the outcome should be that you should not fear about your dreams. You should not be fear of what you are talking. You should be confident. You should be confident on whatever you are doing, and it should be for yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's really motivational, because it's like you should do what you want to do in life, because that will only make you happy. Yeah. So, do you want to give any tips to the audience?
I would say that the only mantra of survival is believing in yourself. The only mantra of survival.
Right.
You should believe in whatever you are doing. Giving up is an easy option, but if you try and if you win, the winning is more than anything else. So you should try you should at least try that you at least be happy that you tried on whatever thing you wanted to do. So motivating yourself, inspiring yourself is within you.
Right.
Yes. So everything depends on ourselves, that we should believe in ourselves first, then only the world will believe in us.
Right. That was really great. So, in the end, would you guys like to add up anything? So,
I think nothing from my end. Just like, as I said, keep going. The battle is not yet over. And also, just follow what the government has set out as guidelines. I think if we make a conscious effort to follow the SOPs or the guidelines the government has set for us, I think we have more than half the battle won there. So just stick to that, and together I think we can overcome this.
Right. Kimi, do you want to add up something?
The reason we have problems is because they actually they actually build our life, because a life without problems or roadblocks or something is a life unlived. Like someone without any problems or just happiness from the very beginning is it means someone else has done and gone through a real life for them. It doesn't mean that they have done all the work to earn their happiness.
Right. Do you want to add up anything in the end?
Hello. Yes.
I guess her connection is poor. Do you want to add up anything? Yeah. Yes, you are.
Hello. Yes. On their part, and get vaccinated as well. Being a doctor, I would suggest that you all get vaccinated, and just try to take the precautions and the guidelines, whatever the government is saying, and I just hope.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. So thank you everyone for taking your time for the live session. It was truly an inspirational session. So we will keep our sessions going, and this is what Innoblists believe in: to work on ourselves, choose growth, and choose encouragement. So if any of you guys wants to get connected with us or to contact us, you can DM us on Instagram, or you can just visit our website, which is www.innoblist.co.in. So thank you, have a nice day, and stay safe.